Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my War of the Chosen playthrough. Just on veteran difficulty, no Ironman. We left off right before we should be getting into the lost and abandoned mission, so...
Commander, we have a lead on the alien black site, but we'll have to rely on the local resistance to actually get us into the facility. We should try to make contact with their forces in the region as soon as possible. It's the only way we're going to find out what's behind this so-called Avatar project.
Commander, you're not gonna believe this. We just picked up a signal from an emergency locator beacon. It's definitely one of ours, from the original invasion. I know it sounds crazy, but if there's any chance some of our people could still be out there, I think we owe it to them to find out.
So down here is the black site that is a story mission that we need to finish up at some point. And here's a cutscene that happens when you finish up doing the autopsy on the Advent officer. I'm going to talk over this cutscene because it's a little long, a little boring.
The results, however, it's best you see for yourself.
It's basically Tygan explaining that
the Advent captain has confirmed the existence
the
of
same
an implant
sort of psionic network, the same alien Wi-Fi network that you were plugged into, the officer was also plugged into. So the commander was kind of sort of guiding him.
The data you see is being pulled directly from this Advent captain's implant. The sequence here.
Tygan's voice actor is actually Gary Anthony Williams. That's the name I couldn't think of last episode. Like I said, played Smart Brother in Undercover Brother, which is a funny movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go do that.
The Advent data shows signs of decay. Removing the commander from their network has likely caused
And Tygan's saying that
damage.
the psionic network is all damaged and whatnot because you got unplugged from it, which, again, doesn't make much sense because the aliens didn't really need you to take over Earth to begin with. But I guess they need you to sound important somehow.
Advent uses this network to augment the tactical readiness of its troops, as well as disseminate orders from its central command. Observe. Even in the subject's diminished condition, the implant continues to have an effect. A truly astonishing achievement.
Moral weakness.
Potentially. But I need direct access to their network to know for sure.
And now Tygan wants us
That
to
won't be easy.
sort of live hack an Advent officer in the field.
That would mean hacking a live Advent officer.
Like I said, not easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Still, it's the best lead we've got. Your call, Commander.
It's not that hard to get one of them.
New objective added.
Okay, so at some point we now need to build a skulljack, and that's how you hack the Advent officers. We need to do that in the Proving Grounds, which we need to build at some point, but not anytime soon.
A means of stabilizing the link between the local subordinates
we have
and the
interesting.
Advent network tower itself.
Commander, if we're going to try to build this skulljack that Tygan came up with, we're going to need a specialized facility to test it out.
Commander, during the course of our research, we made a
Cost
startling breakthrough
50%.
that has led us to another potential avenue of study. However, if we are to proceed down this path, we must do so immediately, or I fear we will lose our opportunity to return to it in the future.
So it's given me a chance here to do this breakthrough, which if I don't do this now, I lose it. It's going to give me 50%. It's going to reduce my cost of building a power relay by 50%, which would save me some supplies. I don't think that's worth it, to be honest. I go for supplies so often that saving a couple isn't going to be that big of a deal. So instead I think the better choice would be to go for either resistance communications or mag weapons. I'm probably going to go for the resistant communications because you need that to get to the black site and move the story forward, and you don't want to fall too far behind because there's an Avatar project that if gets completed you end up losing the game. It's not... War of the Chosen has made it so it's actually not that... it's pretty easy to set back the Advent project enough times to not really worry about it all that much.
Strategic resource located.
But still, we should just go ahead and do that since mag weapons are going to take 28 days, and once we get our next scientist, I'll probably jump on top of that. Get a grenade and ammo.
Avenger plotting new course.
I'm probably not going to go for that. I might. Grenade and ammo would be really nice. And if I don't go for it, I'm probably going to lose it. This is actually, I'm pretty sure it's a set of weapons that you get from going over here and covering this cargo. This is from, we got this because we clicked on the Alien Hunters DLC and going for that mission in the beginning. If we hadn't clicked on that, this would not have popped up, and we would just have to research the weapons that this would give us. You know what? This is only 6 days. Let's go for it.
Avenger plotting new course.
Maybe we can get that before we go and before it makes us do the Lost and Abandoned mission. Nope, because it's happening right now.
John. The skirmishers are Advent. Advent is the enemy. The enemy is food.
Try not to bring that up when we meet, Volk.
You take their side after all we've seen these years.
Look, I'm not exactly having drinks with them, but they did hold up their end of the bargain. What about you?
Wait and see. Volk out.
Actually think they might show up. Commander, that was Konstantin Volokov, Volk to his friends. He and his Reapers are a big part of the reason why you're standing here today. Volk may be a little rough around the edges, but he's the real deal. Heads one of 3 resistance groups operating independently from us that we consider a legitimate threat to Advent. Together, they'd make one hell of a fighting force. Too bad they hate each other. Still, we've made some unlikely progress. Volk's Reapers may have found you, but they weren't acting alone. They were tipped off by a group of Advent defectors known as the Skirmishers. No one's big on working with these guys, knowing where they came from. But you wouldn't be here without their help. Both the Reapers and the Skirmishers have agreed to suspend hostilities provided you serve as the go-between. Trust doesn't come easy between these two, so we're heading for a nice quiet spot on neutral ground. Even so, let's not take any chances.
In the middle of the
Intel in this
rainforest.
area is weak, and we're picking up strange chatter on comms. Not to mention we're ending a decade-long blood feud today. I'd advise our soldiers to be fully prepared before we deploy on this one, Commander. Good luck.
So despite what
People could use a hand in the field.
Central is implying, this mission isn't actually all that hard.
What do you say?
Not sure how long our contacts are going to wait for us, Commander. So I'd recommend we proceed as soon as possible. All available soldiers are standing by to deploy.
So Volk is actually voiced by Jonathan Frakes, who plays Commander
Each
Riker
faction has agreed
in
to allow
Star Trek
a
The Next
2-person
Generation.
squad to escort them to the rendezvous point. Hopefully that should be enough to keep them from killing each other. We've got a temporary ceasefire in place for the duration of the meet, but still, that doesn't mean we shouldn't be ready for anything.
Let's go with the... he's a rookie right now. Let's go with the scope. So here's a... this is a character that somebody's watching actually wanted me to put in. So that's why... and same with her. So that's why if these two seem slightly more random than the other random characters I have, that's why. Her weapon should be upgraded. Yeah, it is. She's got the hair trigger, nice. Normally I wouldn't take a sniper on this mission, but we want to get her leveled up. Let's not take him. Let's take Deadpool and level up another rookie. Like I said, this mission's kind of easy. It gets a little tricky at the end, but it shouldn't be too hard. It's a good chance to level up some of our rookies, especially since our one specialist is hurt right now. And that's why I'm going to give Deadpool the medikit, even though he's not going to really be that effective with it. I think... oh yeah, we want to upgrade the weapons on these guys too. Let's go with the repeater, Because we want to give the extended mag to the Grenadier because he's only going to have 3 shots. Jonathan Frakes actually also directed a lot of the Next Generation movies as well. And he does a lot of TV directing. It's kind of, he's kind of like Leonard Nimoy in that way, where he used his TV Star Trek career to sort of launch his directing career. But yeah, there's lots of Next Generation voice actors in this game, which is super cool. Adds a nice little, slightly campy touch to it. And we're loading. Last time, okay, there we go. Last time I played this mission, it had a really hard time loading. Some really weird stuff happened. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. I might cut out some of the loading times.
The skirmishers have been at each other's throats for years, so we're keeping the exact meeting point strictly need to know. You'll split into 2 squads, rendezvous with each faction, and bring their envoy directly to the location of the meet.
And this upcoming cutscene's really cool too.
Proceed to the first set of coordinates. Firebrand and the second team will head to the next drop point. Detecting increasing biological signatures in the area ahead. Then I'd say we're in the right place. Stay sharp out there today, people. Just because this city was abandoned doesn't mean it's lifeless.
It's cool seeing their little light flares like that.
If you are hungry, there's more where that came from. Impressive reflexes.
Those capes are crazy.
But unnecessary.
Stand down. We're all friends here.
You are safe here. More so than you imagine. We shall see if the same holds true for these skirmishers of yours. Your presence already disturbs them. We must move quickly. My people will take care of this camp. Come.
Uploading the coordinates to the rendezvous point now. We've plotted the most direct route there.
Okay.
We don't know much about the skirmish.
So yeah, we just need to get over to this evac point here. And then we're going to play the second team that we prepped.
His death squads wiped out entire camps of my people in the first years of the war. You would dare do this?
Pretty sure hands are bloody on both sides of this fight. That's the whole point of this intervention.
Reapers are born in the shadows, in the cold, harsh world that was waiting for us out there. We rely on stealth and long-range attacks.
And yeah, this is the first mission where you meet the Lost, which is sort of a new, sort of neutral enemy type. They're not really with the Advent.
Elements of unstable radiation. I cannot fathom what they were like in their original function.
We were there, Doctor. You're better off having missed it.
I am on watch.
This might be a mission where I overwatch a lot because the Lost likes to just jump out of the fog.
Position confirmed.
Yeah, so Outrider. Yep, there's our Lost. First glimpse at them.
No more time for regrets. We are not alone.
Those things, they still look like people.
What was human died years
Here's
ago.
basically like zombies.
Only the taint of the aliens survives now. Where there is one, more will follow. You must not hesitate to destroy them.
And then yeah, we got Dragonova over here. Outrider's her nickname. She's the first Reaper you get. It's one of the new classes. She basically has her own personal concealment, which is nice. Performing actions lets there be a chance of her losing that concealment. There's a pretty decent chance she'll stay in it. When you do consecutive actions, there's a chance that she'll get revealed.
Strength lies in their numbers. As you can see, they fall easily. If we are careful with our shots, we will prevail.
And yeah, the Lost have this new sort of ability that they give you guys where if you hit them with your firearm, you actually get a free action to do something else. That's only when you fire at them. If you can't hit them, because she can't shoot her rifle. Did I did that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's only with the firearm you get the headshot, as the ability sort of implies. If you use explosives or a melee attack or something like that, you actually don't get the free bonus action. So that's something you want to consider too. The best strategy for the Lost is just to pretty much target the ones with the lowest health first, and just sort of chain shots off of them. There's a couple of brute Lost that have a ton of health that will take 2 hits to take down. You kind of want to save them for last, so you can pretty much chain all the weaker ones first.
These creatures' DNA has mutated well beyond
there's
what
only
we would
the one.
classify as human. Perhaps the result of long-term exposure to the alien radiation from those pods. Though why anyone would subject themselves to that, I cannot imagine.
We're gonna...
When the governments fell, millions starved. Many
Why
fled to
is it
cities
not
such
working?
as this
There we go.
to scavenge for food. They did not heed the warnings.
We're gonna be a little less conservative than usual, just because I know you guys don't want to see me taking too long with this mission. This isn't really a particularly interesting one to watch. I didn't have him reload like it's supposed to. Oh well.
Ready to go.
That mod is supposed to have it where if you can't reload because your weapon, or you can't overwatch because your weapon is empty, it has your guys automatically reload them. But it didn't seem to work for some reason, which is fine. I usually do a good job of making sure my guys at least have some ammo in their guns.
Remember, they are not victims.
That's a really important thing to remember in this game, is if you get the opportunity to reload your gun, you should take
My
it.
people have encountered these beings before. At first, they may appear mindless, but they
let's
hear
go.
quite well. In great numbers, they can be very
Yeah, let's just go there. Let's get up here.
Moving out.
This is actually one of those rare levels that isn't randomly generated in some way. This is actually the same map you'll play every time for this mission. There's not too many that are like that. Let's just move up. I don't think he's going to get an Overwatch shot there, so let's try to get that much closer to the evac point. More Lost. Coming up. Yeah, it sucks when they get right below you like that, because then they get hard to hit. You basically have to jump down to get them.
All we can offer them now.
It's the one time that high ground kind of works to a disadvantage. But still worth it. That's what Overwatch is for, and it takes them such a large movement to get up to where you're at that they usually can't attack in the same turn. You only got 2 of them there, for this pod anyways. That's disappointing.
These creatures are worse.
But yeah, they didn't get a chance to actually
They have no cause, no
swipe
fear.
at me, so that's
they
fine.
simply exist. If we do not defeat the aliens soon, we will become little more than they are. Your friends will join you soon. I have almost no
Then we'll
ammo.
reload her. We're getting pretty close to being able to just run for the
I need to reload.
evac point there. We don't need to. We don't need an action to actually activate being pulled out or anything. We just need to get to it. So.
Extraction point is close, but looks like these things don't want to make it easy for you.
We will make it to your pet Advent in time.
Overwatch there. Overwatch. Is there? Huh. Cover's gone for some reason here, but there's no enemies with like actual projectile attacks on this part of the mission, so we don't really need to worry about actually having cover. If I was using cover before, it's kind of because that's where the edge of the building is, and also it's a habit. It's a good habit to have for the most part, but still, just a habit.
Enemy destroyed.
Yeah, so they all have 3 health, so I'm just gonna go for the highest percentages and go down from there. I know that's a really pro-advanced trick that nobody else would have ever thought of, but that's what I do.
We risk all this for pray tell Mox?
Ooh, so close.
If he is not what you say he is, I shall kill him myself.
Looking forward to this meeting already.
Let's go here and finish that lost off with a pistol. The other 2 should be able to take care of the remaining lost. One of the weapons that you pick up the Alien Hunters DLC that we're gonna finish once we're done with this mission is a really nice pistol called the Shadow Keeper, I think. It almost never misses, which is super nice. And it's something that you can upgrade as you unlock mag weapons and things like that. You do have to pay to upgrade it, but it's definitely worth it.
My ammunition is almost gone.
There's also a bolt caster, which basically gets 1 shot before you have to reload it. And there's also sort of a throwing axe, which replaces the ranger's sword, and a grenade that freezes people. And I don't like the grenade all that much because the blast radius isn't very big, and because it's me, I would just have a regular grenade that destroys cover and deals damage. There's a couple of other people that get abilities later that can freeze some guys. So the frozen grenade isn't really all that worth it to me. I think it's the snake armor that you get that can freeze people. That's right, when you kill the Viper King. Which we'll see at some point.
Second squad is already en route to Mox.
We probably won't see it until around episode 5 or 6.
We'll be there.
And I'm gonna complain about it constantly because I hate the Alien Kings. They're kind of cheesy. They're kind of cheap.
Looks like trouble ahead. The rendezvous could be compromised. Stay focused. Contact! Get down! We may have a bigger problem here. I'm guessing that's our man. Well, our contact anyway.
Crocksod. Advent. Puppet. Voxtala. 410. They were sent here to hunt, to purge the Drop 10, the Lost. Our meeting point is still secure. She is free of the imposter gods. I would give anything that all my kind could say the same. Even sit down with your Reapers. Now, we must go.
Rendezvous with Outrider is further ahead. Proceed through this district as quickly as possible, but be careful. Something tells me this city still has a few more surprises to throw our way.
Surprises are the least of our worries today. It is these Reapers of yours that are of true concern.
We, the skirmishers, were created by the
this Beddoes chick who leads the skirmishers is actually voiced by Denise Crosby, who voiced Tasha Yar in like the first season of Next Generation, and also played a random Romulan at some point too.
In close combat, none can stand opposed to us.
Okay, sorry about the star wipe earlier. I came across a really long loading screen that I decided I wasn't going to make you guys sit through. I didn't say anything important other than was complaining about how long it was taking, so you didn't miss much. Just some really pretty shots of that craft hovering there. And yeah, and Mox is voiced by Michael Dorn, who plays Worf. He's probably my favorite of the TNG voices because the voice director basically just told him just act like Worf. So if I call him Worf every once in a while, that's why. He's also got this cool grapple ability, which we might use. I might wait, because there is a cooldown for it. He also, if he doesn't move, he gets to shoot twice in one turn, which is nice. And when he does his grapple, it doesn't count as movement, so he can actually grapple up to high ground and shoot down twice in a row. He can't do it every turn, but he can do it a lot. Comes in handy. Nice. So this is a new enemy class from War of the Chosen. They're basically there to purge the lost from the cities. They're not. They look intimidating. They actually look super cool, but they're not anything to really worry about. Every once in a while, they'll use their flamethrowers to try to attack you. But it's not guaranteed damage, so it's really not that big of a deal.
We must eliminate this patrol quickly before others arrive.
I didn't get close.
Take them down.
And flank. Maybe Mox can flank him.
Utilizing hook.
You should be able to. You should be able to get a shot on that one closest to Arnie. Oh, he actually has a better shot on him. That's interesting. That's weird. Apparently he gets a wait. This is so weird. Low cover, 20%. Oh, it's because he's got high cover and he's not exactly flanked him perfectly. That's why. Well, let's move Deadpool. See what happens. Let's move Deadpool up here and get that height advantage too. I don't know if he can even hit him now because of that. Nope. Let's take the 69% chance on him. And it was worth it.
You weren't kidding when you said
Overthought that for no reason.
Careful with these things. We don't need to take any unnecessary chances.
Sweet.
The patrol has been liberated.
He didn't even shoot.
Lives not be lost in vain.
I don't know.
We must push forward and complete our mission.
I don't know if this is considered blown up already, if it might blow up again. Let's move over here a little bit further away from him, just in case it does blow up again. Yep, there it goes. Okay, I know it's gonna happen, and it's just gonna be easier if I have my guys up on this high ground now, instead of trying to rush them up there. I'm cheesing it a little bit, but whatever. It's not like it's even particularly that hard if they stay down there. Just makes this part slightly easier. We should have him reload.
Oh joy! Bullets!
Here's a fun little cutscene.
This is no patrol. It's an army.
Yes, one we do not have time to face.
Everyone, get back!
Love that cutscene.
Purifiers may be down,
It is fun and epic and to the point.
Extraction point.
I fear that is not the worst of it. Multiple biological signatures rapidly on approach to your position.
I wish every cutscene in this game were just that to the point. That would make things speed up a little bit.
There was no other choice.
Yep, and this is also the game telling you that explosions attract the lost. So, on missions where there is the lost, you kind of want to rethink using explosives a ton, although I still end up doing it. I find it's just worth it because the lost aren't really that big of a deal, especially when you get upgraded weapons.
Allowing enhanced speed and agility with a corresponding increase in aggression.
Let's get you... Should be able to get him up top where he can't be hurt. Yeah, I can get him up here.
Useful aid.
So, I know about that spot because, like I said before, this is a map that is not randomly generated. It's one that you always play through on this mission. So, I've put Moxie up there a lot. So then we just need to hold out for 4 turns before Central gives us a new evac point. Once we thin out some of those lost, maybe I'll start moving over towards the point that he gives you.
Don't give me that crap.
I wish it changed. I wish it wasn't always the same evac point. That would probably make this mission a bit more interesting, but oh well.
Most of the city. I would expect a significant reaction.
So the stasher has 4 health. There's a good example of paying attention to one that you might want to save for later. You might not want to kill right away because of the kind of health he's got. I actually wonder if I could... I've never tried that before. I'm wondering if Arnie just stays up here, if the Lost can even get up to me. Because they can't get up the... They shouldn't be able to get up the ladder if he's there. Let's move Deadpool here and see what happens.
Class dismissed. Oh, you should have ducked. I am shooting you.
That's one thing that the XCOM 1 did better than XCOM 2. Overall, this is the better game, I think, but XCOM 1 did much better with the voice acting and the commands and having more languages than just English and things like that. That's something I wish they took a bit more care of in this game.
Standing by.
It seems like they really focused on the mechanics of the gameplay, but then left everything else for modders to put in and things like that. Which is a shame. Especially when they try to get you to pay for DLC to unlock more customizable stuff. Yeah, they didn't go up that ladder.
Hotter than we thought. Gonna need a little more time.
Understood. Holding position.
Everyone's got about the same. You should be able to kill all of them with one shot. So we're just gonna go in order of highest percentage chance. That's from Total Recall. I still haven't seen the Colin Farrell remake, which is funny because I have Colin Farrell made in this game. Although he is Ray from In Bruges.
Son of a bitch. There had better be something good for all this wait.
Your service is over. Reloading ammunition.
So yeah, we're down to 2. I wonder... Well, I've already had them do stuff, so it's not really... Can't really take advantage of that right now, but next turn I might start moving them over to that top corner up there, because that's where they have you evac.
Meetings are all over the place. The Lost are almost right on top of you. These Lost seem to be pretty sensitive.
Yeah, they can't get up there because he's at the top of the ladder. Huh.
Think we've got something here.
I would have thought that that seemed really cheesy. I'm a little surprised that Fraxis didn't make it so you could do that. Although I'm not going to complain. Let's take the shot, see what happens. We're not having a mistastic mission like last time. If anybody is confused by that, that is a combination of fantastic and miss. You just take the fan out. Because nothing is quite as funny as explaining jokes from previous episodes. I'm just gonna reload. There's probably gonna be more Lost jumping out of the fog, but we should be able to handle it. So this is taking long enough where I think I am probably just going to have this be its own mission.
Pretty confident.
Yeah, it seems like it. I think we're about close to 40 minutes in.
Found a new route that should get you to the rendezvous point safely. The Lost are still
trying to keep these
converging on the
episodes
area, so
at
make
about
it
an hour
fast.
each.
That will not be a problem.
So we'll probably check out those alien hunters weapons next mission after I pick them up.
Here is Sub-Zero!
No.
Plane Zero!
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, that guy definitely should have stayed home. We could,
And Moxie's turn.
Their journey ends here.
Let's just have them jump down.
Moving there.
We should be able to get them into that evac point next turn. Just Overwatch, he's too far. Well, let's do this justice just to show it off. So it uses the grapple to pull a humanoid target to you and deliver a ripjack strike. Only works on humanoid targets, obviously. If you're trying to do a mech or something like that, this won't work. But basically, he fires his grapple at an enemy, launches into him, pulls into him, and then he's got sort of those wrist things that he attacks with, just like that.
Their casualties grow.
So it's a good ability to pull enemies out of cover with when you can get that percentage to hit. Because the skirmisher bullpup is a little weaker than most of the guns in this game, I'm not really the biggest fan of the skirmisher because of that. I do like their mobility, but that's kind of it. I still think I prefer the stealth of the Reaper slightly more, though.
Outrider and the first team should be waiting for you ahead.
The Templars are fun, but they're also hard to not get hurt. They tend to get wounded a lot, so they don't see a ton of action because of that. And now another loading screen, another hidden one. We'll see how long this takes. I may or not transition through this one. It's just a little creepy intersection. Little Lost, hanging out of the cars. Little plastic bags blown in the wind. And lots of weird random noises in the background. Yeah, we're gonna transition through this one. Maybe I'll put these at the end of the episode or something if people actually care. I doubt anybody's gonna care. I don't doubt anybody's gonna care about any of this. This really... There we go.
Rendezvous point directly ahead. Let's try and play nice today, people.
So, Advent's most brutal captain comes to atone for his crime.
Did I mention she's voiced by Marina Sirtis?
I am no longer that being. I am free now.
Taking off that helmet does not change what you are. Reapers have long memories. Elder Cracksod. Anytime.
The way I see it, we have two options. Join forces and kick the Elders off our world, or kill each other here and now. The choice is yours.
No one has ever done that before. No one shall ever do that again.
What the hell is that?
Vox Prima, Elder Assassin, relentless death that stalks my kind. Butcher of free Advent.
My people face another like her. They are the undying, Advent's curse upon us. We must combine strength if we are to have any chance of success.
You are welcome to try.
That's a cool cutscene too. Not as cool as Mox blowing up a fuel truck, but still pretty cool.
Without warning years ago. Had they not, we would have already
Let's have
regained
everybody
our
reload.
Such arrogance. The Elder's will extends throughout the universe. I am but one of their instruments.
There's no enemies to shoot at yet, so there's no point in overwatching right now. So we're just gonna get everybody off the L tracks.
Course.
Let's have you come down here.
Let's move already.
I'm just kind of spreading everybody out
Already there.
because the assassin is gonna pop out soon. She is the worst. She's the first chosen. Oh yeah, by the way, if I didn't mention it before, Outrider / Dragonova is voiced by Marina Sirtis, who played Counselor Troy in The Next Generation. So that's fun. That's another fun voice. She does a good job too. Not as good as Michael Dorn, but still pretty good. Yeah, there's the assassin. She's the worst of the chosen, because she just zips in and out of your squad without activating Overwatch, and then just runs away. Yeah, her strengths are chance to return fire against missed shots, and this chosen does not trigger Overwatch or reaction fire, which makes her very hard to hit, especially when she just runs in, slashes a dude, and runs out, and then you have to chase her down. Her weaknesses are groundling, so she's easy to target from high ground, and adversary is Reapers, where she takes increased damage from Reapers. Every once in a while, these things will be slightly randomized. I'm pretty sure it might change once you take off the War of the Chosen narration stuff. But whenever you have that on, for sure, her adversary is always Reapers. And as the game progresses, she gets more and more strengths too. So eventually, when you can actually hunt her down and try to kill her for good, you want to do that sooner rather than later.
At the very least, you will die.
You still want to wait until you get like mag weapons and stuff, and you can deal extra damage. But you also don't want to do it too soon. It's one of those things where you have to sort of either play the game and learn from trial or error, or watch somebody else play through it, or
On the move.
read a guide or something to let you know when you should be going after her. There's unfortunately a lot of trial and error stuff in this game. It's the one thing that makes me it's the one thing that doesn't make this game feel very streamlined. One thing they could have improved upon. So I put her in shadow mode. She basically gets, oh, that's where I put her. I thought she was going to go inside there. Yeah, but shadow mode, well, yeah. Click that shadow ability, just puts her back in concealment for that one, actually for the rest of the time until she does actions again. It's a one-time charge thing. I think she has an ability that lets her use it twice in the future. Comes in handy for when she gets revealed, but you still want to have her scout out. Like I had her did, because I want to find out where that assassin is. So I'm really glad I did that. And the assassin shouldn't know she's there. So she's not in danger or anything. And we're gonna blow up this cover that the assassin is hiding behind. We can get a grenade where I want it. I'm surprised the assassin didn't notice her when she ran by. I got lucky about that. Not that having her revealed is really that big of a deal in the rest of this mission. I don't know if I'm gonna get people close enough to hit her. That might be a problem. Let's get Moxie over here. Let's hope he can hit her. Yes, he can. Wow. Wow.
Surely you can do better.
Oh no. Oh boy. Let's go. No, that's not gonna work. I don't know if I'm getting enough people to be able to flank her and hit her. Oh, there's one. Sweet. Good job, Dovrak.
I had not expected this conflict to be so exhilarating.
Okay. Now she's gonna disappear.
XCOM. Still, the Elder's will is that none survive.
That wasn't as good as I've done it before, with her shooting back like that, but still pretty good. She didn't daze anybody and get a melee attack, so could have gone better, could have gone a lot worse. But with her, you really just want to be aggressive.
An accurate assessment. The entire lost biomass.
You just need, when you know she's around, you just have to move your guys out. Try to see if you can find her in the fog somewhere.
Get moving.
The other two are pretty easy. The hunter's super easy. The warlock is kind of in between, but still pretty manageable. The assassin is the only one that's really a giant pain to try to fight. And that's why when you do get a chance to take out the Chosen, I go for her first. Okay, now we just need to get everybody to that evac point. There's not a time limit. We can take our time with it. I'm going to try not to take too long, because I know just fighting the Lost isn't all that interesting. But we'll see what happens. When you're just fighting the Lost, wow, Deadpool sounded like me sometimes when I'm trying to talk and can't.
Analysis of these creatures' movement patterns reveals an almost coordinated attack strategy. Perhaps they're not the mindless automatons they initially appeared to be. An intriguing, if not horrific, possibility.
Oh, I can't hit him up from up here, so that was a waste. The Lost aren't really all that hard when they're on their own, to be quite honest. Nor are they really that interesting to fight. When you're in missions that have both Lost and Advent, that's when things start to get interesting, because the Lost actually starts to attack the Advent for you sometimes. And the Advent will in turn attack the Lost. So that's when the Lost really starts to get interesting. But unfortunately that's not this level. So we'll see what we can do about moving everybody over to the evac point and getting out of here. Let's have you come up this way. There shouldn't be any Lost up there. Usually the Lost are just on the ground level. They're not up in the buildings. Oh, she's moving, which is why they won't overwatch yet.
Attacking on sight.
They're coming through the building. One is, anyways. They do a good job of being creepy. I'll admit that.
Their journey ends here.
Nice.
I aim because I
Ew, Deadpool got promoted. I hope he'll get promoted to a ranger, so he'll get his sword.
How many of these creatures can still be in this city?
Advent has been sending purifier squads into these cities for years, yet somehow the Lost survive.
Why
Even
can I not
Pride,
move her?
We do not know why.
That's weird. I don't think my game's acting properly. No, it is not. Oh, there we go. Fixed it. Maybe I didn't want to send her up through here. Well, I can go this way. It seems like.
Go where you tell me.
Yeah, if you go through doors or smash through windows, that gets you out of concealment. So you always have to be careful with that. That's what that red marker means sometimes. So we have her up there scouting ahead. I know that we're not in any immediate danger, but I'm still going to play it safe.
Reloading.
Oh boy. Sorry guys.
I understand. No trespassers.
Yeah, they're all in that building. Got a hit. Nice.
You can't handle me.
Already missed. Wow, he got right up on top of her. I wonder if the red means that they're a dasher. I've never really noticed a pattern with that.
I feel revulsion at what happened to this place, to these people.
I believe you.
Eventually when I get the boltcaster, you'll hear me say, oh, you never want to take this weapon on a mission with the Lost with you because you only get one shot before you have to reload. And then I will keep forgetting to not bring it along, and my specialists, who usually get that weapon, will always have it on them. And then I'm going to be non-stop complaining about how I can never remember to take it off them. You have that really fun thing to look forward to. Okay, let's have him just reload. I don't think there's much more enemies in that building. So we can have these guys who are low on ammo reload. That's why I had some other guys reload before last turn, so everybody wouldn't be low on ammo. We're just gonna have her come out of... well, she should be able to kill him. Which, if he's dead, she shouldn't have a chance of being revealed. Oh, she does. But, we're fine. I wonder if it's because he was still part of another mob, which is why she had a chance to be revealed. Sometimes when you get a kill and nobody else can see her, you don't get any chance to reveal her. You know what, we're just gonna go with it, go for it though. We want to thin these guys out, get to that evac point that much quicker. Nice. If I take another shot, it's for sure gonna reveal her, but I'm just gonna do it. As of right now, if she's in concealment for too much longer, we only are working with 5 guys to get to the evac point, which is entirely doable, but eats up more time. So.
No compromises.
Okay.
I'm on it.
We're slowly but surely getting over there. Hopefully another swarm doesn't appear, which, of course, another swarm appeared. I had to jinx it. Nice headshot.
Remember, they are not victims.
There might be a more efficient way of getting to the evac point, just because this is a straight line might not necessarily make it the best. That hallway there really messes you up. I almost wonder if it might be better to have people come up top, where they don't have that hallway that really messes with your line of sight.
There will come a day when my people take back this place.
We're not going to worry about it.
If they are all like you, that is a likely possibility.
Yeah, we don't want to go this way because then we have to go down this way and through. So you just want to go this way.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Have her mop these guys. I don't know if she's gonna. Oh, she's gonna reload. I don't know if she's gonna hit this guy or not because he's over here. They don't really use cover, so that's a nice thing about the Lost. You don't have to really worry about cover with them.
I'll keep an eye on it.
It's really they really just try to swarm you.
Alright, I got it.
It's their one gimmick. There's a mod called World War L that adds a couple of different Lost class mods and things like that. It gives them a couple of abilities. I might download that once this one's done. Give that a shot. Maybe I'll. I still don't know if I'm gonna do Ironman. We'll see. But maybe I'll up the difficulty up to Commander. Do that one advanced option that lowers the usability of grenades a little bit. I forget exactly what it's called. And do World War L.
Shot wide.
Nailed him.
I'm tempted to do a long war campaign, but I feel like this campaign is already long enough. I don't know if I want to make it even longer.
It would seem the Lost are on to our strategy.
It is the Elder's will that this alliance is fall. It will take more than mere Lost for that to happen.
I don't know too much about Long War, other than it makes the campaign longer. I don't know if there's any increased features that are added or something like that.
I move.
So, it might be something I check out.
I need to reload.
I'm on it.
Covering now.
Sure.
And I'm sure by the time I'm done with this too, there will be even more mods. Phyrexis really made this game mod friendly, and it seems like there's a big community modding it right now. So, if anybody wants me to do anything in particular, leave a comment. I guess we'll see what happens. Just shot cat.
How many is that now?
That was a really weird image. She looked terrified.
Running out of time here, people.
Tell her to hold
Central.
as long as she can. We will be there.
I wonder if we can just run it if we got close enough. Deadpool's the furthest away. Nope, he can't. And if there's actually even any other games besides XCOM you want me to play, leave a comment. We'll see what I can make happen. Right now I'm just doing PC games. If I get a couple of viewers, maybe I'll invest in a video card or something, start recording some other stuff.
Shoot, that was my favorite bullet.
Tired of waiting around.
So yeah, hopefully we can end this next turn. I don't see why not. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get the red exact tile you want to with the mouse behaves, the way the mouse behaves. But that should do it.
Only time to reload. I am on watch.
That Smart Overwatch really comes in handy. It gets, when you have a team full of 6, it gets really annoying having to overwatch each person. It's one of those. That's a mod I definitely recommend. I definitely recommend that mod. Recommend evac all. Recommend stop wasting my time. Not being rude. Actually, what the mod's called. And then any cosmetics you like too. You just have to make sure that the cosmetic ones are actually going to work with War of the Chosen. And that actually counts for all mods too.
Outrider to Avenger, where the hell's our exit? This is as low as I can get her.
No! I do not intend to die this day. I will follow. Foxtala 410.
Time to return home, traitor.
Yet another reason to hate the assassin. Okay, well that went well. I think the one guy who got wounded got captured anyways.
The Reapers and the skirmishers to cooperate for once. That in itself is an accomplishment.
We may have chosen a different means of resistance, but our people fight for the same reason, for the world we once knew. Together we will end this occupation. Or die trying.
The Resistance factions take a more flexible approach to training than traditional soldiers. They can often learn multiple new abilities with each promotion. They will adapt to follow your choices, Commander.
So here's something that's a little, not completely, but a little unique to the new War of the Chosen classes. They actually get 3 specializations. Stealth for the Reaper, it's Stealth, Saboteur, or Marksman. To pick and choose abilities from. As you can see, not every specialization has an ability that you can pick, so you're going to have to be forced to mix and match a little bit. And actually every squad mate gets this XCOM column, or not really a column, I guess, but a row, that you don't really get to use with them until you build the training center facility. But once you do, you can actually load up a very similar looking abilities card and start picking some of these XCOM ones, and also going back and picking some old abilities that you skipped, such as blast padding for the Grenadiers, which I might end up doing once we get a training center built. That won't be a while, and it's probably going to be saved for the mid game. It's not really, I don't see it as a super important facility. But I'm sure there's other people who disagree with me. I might have it be the second or third thing you build. But what this XCOM row is it basically just sort of plucks a couple of different abilities from several other classes and places it in here for you to unlock if you wanted to. I do get a free ability to pick right now. I can either do Remote Start or Blood Trail. Remote Start basically lets me detonate any environmental explosives that she can see on the map. It also causes it to deal double the damage within twice its normal radius. That's a really good ability to have. The downside to that one is not every mission is going to have explosives in the environment. If you're doing a city one, there's lots of cars to blow up. Great then. If you're in the tunnels, not so great. There's usually nothing to really blow up in tunnels. And then the Marksman is shot to deal +1 damage if the target has been wounded this turn. That is probably going to be handier more often, but it's only +1 damage. I like going for Remote Start. It doesn't always come in handy, but when it does come in handy, it is great. It can do some really amazing things. It can almost, if not kill, do some serious damage to an entire pod. Oh good. So Deadpool got turned into a ranger, which we wanted because the actual Deadpool has a sword, which a ranger does. Got his slash ability, which is just a melee attack, like I'm pretty sure we talked about before. If not, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure we also talked before that I like going for Shredder, and then once I get the training skill, we'll come back for blast padding. Dovrak got changed to a specialist. I don't know. I might change him to a ranger. We'll see. But you got Aid Protocol. I don't think I explained that last time. Aid Protocol is something that every single specialist gets. You can command your gremlin to move to a friendly target. It grants that target a bonus to defense until the start of the next player turn. So basically, it performs hunker down for another character. I almost never use it. The only time it really comes in handy is if a specialist is so far away from the combat, you know an Overwatch isn't going to get triggered with him. So you might as well deploy Aid Protocol to somebody who's sort of on point and closer to the enemy. I don't think you'll ever see me use it. Who knows? Maybe we'll be put in a situation where it finally comes in handy. And then for the Sharpshooter we have Deadeye and Lightning Hands. Deadeye is take a shot with a small aim penalty for a significant damage boost. Lightning Hands is fire your pistol at a target. This attack does not cost an action. I like Lightning Hands, especially when we get the Shadowkeeper pistol, and that's going to start doing a little bit more damage too. The way I see it, both Lightning Hands and Deadeye can, when you combine Lightning Hands and her regular rifle shot, that probably gets to about as close of a Deadeye shot in damage will do. It might be a little less, but picking Lightning Hands also gives me the option to actually maybe take out 2 enemies in one turn with her, instead of just dealing all my damage onto one enemy. So I might be able to hit a lower health enemy with Lightning Hands, finish that enemy off, and then hit a second enemy and kill that one with the rifle shot, because the rifle already does a ton of damage anyways. So I like Lightning Hands because it lets me be a bit more, be able to utilize my damage a bit more tactically and strategically, and deal it around the battlefield a bit more. And that's it. No items recovered. I don't think you recover any items ever for that mission. But we got some intel, and we got a scientist, which is nice. That's going to help us with our mag weapons when we start researching them.
Forces of Advent have taken many captives in their time, but they are not nearly.
And then, unfortunately, Mox got captured. So we're going to have to go and save him through a covert action, which comes up soon. And you actually want to
can help us locate our captive soldier.
research
We
some
deploy on
nice.
a covert action alongside them.
Thank you for sending additional support staff to assist me, Commander. I will make sure they are put to good use.
That game really wants me to bond these two. It's cool seeing this. I never noticed before that they actually have bond mates, potential bond mates working together like that. But we're still going to ignore. We might do some stuff on the overmap still. Oh, here's a cool cutscene too. This works in with the Lost and Abandoned mission anyways.
It would be so easy. Good to see you, sister.
Miscreants, restrain yourselves, lest you be restrained.
No, the 3 of us, called upon together. Something has changed.
On that, we are agreed. The battlefield has shifted. Our masters have need of us once more.
Sounds to me like they're afraid.
Puts the gun away.
Dare defile this place with your wretched tongue.
Immediately threatens to pull it back out. He's just indecisive.
Each of you possess our strength. Each of you possess our wisdom. Of all our creations, you are truly blessed. Your charge was a simple one. The subjugation of those who would see our grand design falter. We have been pleased. Until now. Our greatest asset has been lost, stolen from us. while our strongest did nothing. We are disappointed.
Thought you were the strongest.
Arrogance, defiance. You have walked among the humans for too long. You've been corrupted. You can be reclaimed. Yet perhaps you may also be redeemed. Perhaps you all may be redeemed. A greater battle lies ahead. Our time on this world draws to a close. Yet we need not abandon it completely at our departure. For one among you is surely ready to claim this world as their own. One among you is worthy. Return what was lost to us. Grant all who oppose our will. To the one who succeeds our everlasting favor. To the others. You are the chosen. Do not fail us. Now go.
It put go in all caps. I don't know why, I think that's hilarious.
Commander, we've just made contact with a new faction of the Resistance known as the Reapers. They're an elusive bunch, but this is their
Might be the one word in the entire game that's all capped.
I've
I've never really paid attention to that before. You know, besides Central there, of
So this is
course.
the commander. Dragonova spoke highly of you and the rest
And all
of
the
your
other
team.
names.
Trust me, that does not happen often.
Okay.
You are all welcome here. I will admit I had some concerns with this alliance of yours, but from what I hear, this skirmisher, Mox, was captured protecting one of my own. Reapers have long memories, Commander. We will honor our end of the deal. Volk, out.
It's one of those...
Tenacity could prove your undoing, Commander. If you would seek a fight with me, I hope you are truly ready to match my skills.
That's one of those annoying things with the talking heads in the corners, is that they happen so much that I try to let the more important ones talk themselves out, but there's just so many and it's hard to remember which ones are important and which ones are not because there is so many. But yeah, here's our first chosen revealed. Commander of the Resistance has informed us that one of the chosen, Gur-Ray Valinor, I think that's how you say that, has claimed control of nearby regions. If we go on missions in this area, there is a good chance they will try to defend their territory. So yeah, basically the world map is split up between the three of the different chosens. For North America, and I think even South America too. She's gonna be in these spots. I thought I remember starting over here at some point. That's weird. Maybe that was a different game. But she's going to be over here protecting these two continents, I believe. For sure North America. I think Asia is all its own one chosen person, and then Asia and Australia. And then the third chosen gets Europe and Africa, I believe. But yeah, so every time I do a mission here, especially the Black Site missions, there's a good chance chosen will show up. We'll do a bit more overworld stuff. I don't really want to open up with the next mission doing this sort of thing again.
Guerrilla Tactics School.
We all really come to watch the... Sweet, we got the Guerrilla Tactics School. You know, the fun in XCOM is the missions, doing the battles. How do we want to make... I'll explain a bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get a lot of this strategic, the bigger picture strategic stuff done maybe towards the end. Try to open up episodes on battles, because I know sitting through in the beginning is a little boring. So here's exactly why I went with the GTS Tactics School first, is because we can up our squad size and go from 4 to 5 now, which is what we're going to do. Once somebody gets up to the rank of captain, then we can upgrade to squad size too. We can also pick here we can basically upgrade classes here specifically. Like the Reaper gets infiltration, increases hacking by advent, plus 25. Advent security towers cannot see this unit when it's concealed. 5% chance for a free move after the first move of a turn for a skirmisher. So it basically just makes each class slightly better. Each class gets its own thing to do, except for Sparks, which I guess makes sense, because you can't really train a Spark. And you can also pick a rookie and give them a specific sort of. We can pick a specific class from them to take, and sort of, if we're low on specialists, like I think we are, we can basically have this as a way to get specialists specifically, instead of trying to just take them out on missions and hope for the best. I'm just trying to figure out who we want. Her name shouldn't be Maria. We need to fix that. Let's go with Sunny. Should also be we're gonna save Sunny to be a Templar. Not a Templar, a Psi unit, because that's what he is in the Toriko enemy. Kind of, sort of like, that's the closest approximation we can get to XCOM. Let's pick Jim Sterling to be our specialist. So in 5 days he'll become a specialist, and we can start training somebody else. I'll probably pick another specialist just because they're super handy, and despite what it looks like here, Genji is supposed to be hurt, so we can't take him out quite yet. And for the Guerrilla Tactics School, there actually used to be more things you could buy there, but they introduced this new faction thing where you can pick cards that affect the game and things like that, and that sort of replaced a lot of the abilities you could get in the Guerrilla Tactics School. Another thing that opened up is faction HQs. We only have the one for the Reapers right now. They allow us to gain intel. I can't remember if what each base does is randomized or not. So like I said before, we gain intel. The last time I played, the Skirmisher base was in Africa, and they allowed us to heal faster, and then the Templar base was in Australia, and it allowed me to build facilities quicker. I can't remember if those get randomized or not, but we'll see. And we'll get our weapons. Oh, we cleared our room. Let's start clearing out this one.
Now that members of the Resistance factions have joined us on the Avenger, I thought you might want an area where you can meet, to organize and plan future operations together.
So the Resistance Ring is also a new facility with War of the Chosen. We haven't gotten covert actions yet, but it allows you to manage your covert actions and make the covert actions slightly more efficient. If you assign an engineer, the covert actions go through quicker too. Let's assign a new research. Now we can build resistance comms too, if we had the supplies, because we don't. So we can research hybrid materials, which allows us to create a utility that increases our health for squad mates. Not a fan of it. I never do it. I mean, I do it eventually if it's instant, but I rarely ever waste materials on building that. I think it's called a life vest or something. We can do resistance radios, which allows us to build radio towers. It is important to get, but not immediately. We can do mag weapons, which now only takes 19 days. That's probably what I'll pick. We can do an autopsy for a trooper. I forget exactly what that gets us, but I'm pretty sure it's some utility, which I don't use. And then we get a sectoid. We can do a sectoid autopsy, which gets us another utility. I think that one is Mind Shield, which makes it so sectoids can't do their psionic attacks on your troopers. Again, never do it because it takes up a utility slot and wastes materials, and it's just not worth it for me. So I'm just going to jump to start researching mag weapons.
Commander, We can now work to establish contact with local resistance groups operating out of regions around the globe. Once we've collected sufficient intel to make contact, we'll need to scan the target region for the operative signal.
Yep, so now I can start going out to other areas and make contact with resistance cells there. Once I have made contact with them, they're going to start giving me extra supplies every month. So if I go to New Mexico and make contact with them, I'll start getting 50 supplies a month. If I do Eastern US, I get 60. Probably going to do New Mexico first, because that's where the black site is. Once I research Resistance Radio 2, I can start building radio sites here once I make contact with them, and I'll explain that once I actually unlock them. But we're going to finish up getting these weapons.
You and I both know we only had one other Sky Ranger, Commander. It's worse for wear, but this
Sky Rangers. I kept trying to think of the name of those flying things.
Someone's been putting her to work.
Sky Rangers.
It may be possible to triangulate exactly where they took off from, but it'll take some time.
Yeah, so we recover the cargo.
These weapons are unlike any
Yep, these are the
design I
Alien
have
Hunters
previously
DLC weapons.
before. I could attempt further analysis, but
So we're just going to carry on for now. But that's the bolt caster right there, which is really handy. But like I said, you only get one shot per before you have to reload. And we're going to get that grenade and that ammo, as that's super nice to have, especially this early in the game. And then once we get that, we'll probably start making contact. And Jim Sterling is now a specialist. Thank God for Jim Sterling. Okay, now we probably want another specialist. Let's give it to Dolph Lundgren, because he's a super smart dude. And that way I'm not too worried about if, now I have 3, so I should have at least 1 activating time to give the medikit to.
Incoming message for you, Commander. Patching it through to your quarters now.
I had high hopes for the Resistance under your leadership, Commander, and you have outdone yourself.
Yep, so now the, I forget what this guy's called. I just call him, I know it's wrong, I call him the Councilman. I'm pretty sure that's wrong, but he's giving me Resistance activity, what's happened this month, what good things I've done. Over here is the alien activity, where it sort of recaps the bad things that have happened the previous month. As you can see, it's blank right now, but starting next month or so, we're going to start seeing dark events start to fill up the slot. But yeah, and then here's my monthly supply income for now. Basically once a month, all the regions that you've unlocked or made contact with starts giving you these supplies. As you, like I said, make contact with them, they give you more and more supplies.
And have a rough idea of how close each is to reaching their ultimate goal of locating the Avenger.
Yeah, so each Chosen's trying to locate the Avenger, like Central said. Once their knowledge bar fills up all the way, they launch an attack on the Avenger. And you have to play a special mission to repel that attack. There's also these planned activities that they try to do. Hers right now is Retribution, a brutal crackdown on the Resistance, permanently lowering XCOM's income. So basically she just goes to one of those regions and lowers the amount of money they're giving you, which is not that big of a deal because there's tons of ways to raise the amount of income you get per month. And as we discover these two in the game, they'll unlock as well, and you'll see their bars and what they're up to as well.
On developments that threaten our ability to stop the Avatar project. We can conduct guerrilla operations to disrupt one of these efforts, but we'll have to choose carefully. We don't have the resources to intercede everywhere.
Okay, and here's the dark events that occur that basically modify how the game's played a little bit. So we have the Collector's Dark Event, where the Chosen double their efforts to hunt the Commander, seeking to capture XCOM soldiers at every opportunity. It's not that bad. And then we have High Alert, which was XCOM will not be concealed at the start of missions. That one's pretty bad. That's not terrible, there's worse ones, but it's still pretty bad. So they're both preparing right now. I can't remember exactly how the statuses work. I think there's one called Imminent, where once the Dark Event, they haven't taken into effect yet. There's one called Imminent where the Dark Event is about to take into effect. Once we get more guerrilla ops missions, we'll be able to actually stop these dark events from happening. So I can either take one mission which will stop the collectors, or I can take another mission that will stop high alert. Depending upon the rewards and difficulty, I'm probably for sure going to do high alert. For right now, it's only 2 dark events. As we play, eventually there's going to be a 3rd one as well.
Commander, the factions have pledged their support to XCOM, and they're ready to carry out your orders. As our influence with these groups increases, our capabilities will grow.
And here's where we can give orders to the Resistance factions that we have found so far. Right now, we only have the Reapers that we can talk to.
If you've got something new for us, Commander, my Reapers are up for taking on some additional orders.
And they give us these cards that allow us to sort of modify how our characters do in battle and things like that. So, the Reapers have this Between the Eyes card, where any XCOM shot that hits the Lost is an instant headshot kill, which is really nice, especially if you're doing a lot of Lost missions. There's a dark event that happens where there's a chance where Lost can appear on any mission. It's great to have this around for that. It's not the best card, but it's still pretty good. And then we have Lightning Strike here. Units gain +3 mobility for the first 2 turns of battle while the squad remains concealed. That's pretty good for time missions. If there isn't a mission timer, I probably wouldn't use that one as much. So here's where you can actually use your cards. The Reapers have the unmet factions. The Skirmishers go here. The Templars go here. As you meet them, you can start putting in cards and things like that for you to start playing these cards here to affect how the game plays out. You can do 2 each per faction. His is currently locked up. Even though we've already met him. Once we do some covert actions and figure out where the Chosen are hiding, we can actually start using more cards. We can only use cards specific to his faction, but over here we have wild card orders under the chairman. I think the chairman's his name, actually, yeah. And basically we can use any card from any faction here. We actually get 3 and not just the 2 from each faction. So eventually we get a total of 9 cards. Right now we're just going to do Between the Eyes, I think, because that's a really handy one. You know what? We're not. Right now the Lost is super easy to kill. We're going to do Lightning Strike. Maybe next month. We get to switch these around every time the month ends. Same with basically every time we get our supply drop, we can also pick these cards. So maybe next month we'll do the Lost one.
We'll need to send our own soldiers out to work with the Resistance factions to complete these covert
So here's
actions.
the covert action
They'll be
section.
gone for a few days, but this will help us build influence with the Resistance while generating material support.
So we can do Behind Enemy Lines, where we basically gain more intel on where we can find the assassin's hideout and try to attack her directly. We can rescue Protomox. We can increase the income for a current area that we've contacted, and then we can also try to contact the Templars and get them over to start working with us and get a new Templar unit. I'm gonna go with saving Protomox. It might not be the correct choice in doing so, but I don't know. Just in the lore of the game, I feel like Mox has earned being saved. Also, if we leave him in the Chosen's clutches, she's gonna pull information out of him, increase her knowledge, which means she will attack the Avengers sooner. So we probably want to save him for that reason too, anyways. This is going to be, since this is a rescue mission, this is going to be a mission that we actually have to play through, so we do want to pick our team carefully. Genji is good to go again, so we're going to pick him. We need to make utility items available and get that medikit back from Deadpool. There we go. And then we need to add another soldier. Let's add a grenadier. Let's add Colin Farrell. And so for Colin Farrell here, he's got a soldier reward for this slot where if he completes the mission and doesn't die on it, he's going to get a permanent plus 10 dodge increase to his stat. That would actually be handy for a ranger. No, we're gonna keep Contrell. That would be handy for a ranger. Actually, what's his weapon? He doesn't have an upgraded weapon. We want to make weapons available so we can give him a new weapon. I'm going to give him that one with the extended magazine. Now we won't have to worry about him having to reload so much on the mission. So yeah, that would be a good stat bonus for the ranger. But we're not... Okay, he's still got the repeater on there. But we're not going to worry about it too much. I'd rather just guarantee that we get a successful mission, because it's not really an easy one with just 2 people. Begin action.
Nothing on the local comms.
Okay.
Advent's been quiet lately. I'm guessing we have you to thank for that.
Our pleasure, Den Mother. Enjoy it while it lasts.
We plan to. Our water purification
Massive
system...
signal coming from the Advent network tower. It's global. Sir, I think you'll want to see this.
Fellow citizens, for 20 years, the Advent Coalition has worked tirelessly to repair the ravages and injustices of the old world. Under our stewardship, our cities prosper, our people flourish, and our world heals. And yet, among us, there are still those who would refuse to acknowledge the truth, who are determined to see all that we have achieved.
Multiple radar contacts on approach to Haven Alpha 7.
That must end. Even as I speak to you today,
You've got incoming on approach.
Your signal's breaking up. Outlying territories to end this scourge once and for all.
They're right on top of you.
Losing you, Avenger.
Raise them again.
We will ensure your continued safety and well-being throughout this crisis.
Get your people out of there!
There's another one where there's all caps.
Overcome these radical elements and usher in another 20 years of peace and prosperity.
They don't stand a chance. Commander, we should get a squad ready to deploy.
I guess for people who can't hear too well, the caps helps, but I've always been told never to do that.
Commander, we have a squad ready to move on the Resistance Haven currently under siege by the aliens.
And here's our first Advent retaliation mission where we need to go in and actually try to save Resistance members. We're going to review it.
Next operation will put us right in the middle of chosen territory, Commander.
So basically we can either do this right now, or we can skip it and not do it at all, and basically not save anybody. In doing that, we wouldn't have the chance of anybody getting hurt, but we would also be missing out on experience for our guys, and you would also be missing out on the rewards for this mission, which would be an increased... I'm pretty sure it gives you increased income for that region, and also just gives you straight up supplies and mods and for your weapons and things like that too in doing so. So we are going to do it,
Commander,
even though I just hit cancel.
has a hidden cache of resources
We're just going to do that in the beginning of episode 3, because we've already gone long for this episode, but now we have something to look forward to for episode 3. So thanks for watching episode 2. I hope you guys will join me for the start of episode 3 when we go and do our first resistance mission. And thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.